Good morning, my dear students. How are you today? Our lesson today is very easy lesson. It's called Simplifying Radicals. Lesson 10 Simplifying Radicals. Today we are going to learn how to simplify the radical. Radical expression like 2 square root 3. This expression is called radical expression, a whole number, and beside it a number inside a square root, like 3 square root 5, like 9 square root 6, like root 2 over 4. These three expressions are simplified, but these expressions are not simplified. How we can know? We are going to solve more exercise to know what is the meaning of simplifying radicals. Let's start with our rule. If A more than or equal 0 and B more than or equals to 0, then square root AB equals square root A times square root B. I can distribute the square root among the multiplication. So it will be square root A alone times square root B. For example, if you have square root 48, it will be square root 16 times square root 3 equals 4 square root 3. But we have another way to solve this problem. I'm going to explain it. Let's start our exercise here. Number 1, what is the simplified form of square root 160? Our way is like that. We are going to use the prime numbers. Who can tell me what are the prime numbers? The prime numbers are 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. 7, 11. 13, 17, 19. 23, 29, and so on. So in this rule, we are going to use only the prime numbers. How we can use the prime numbers to find the simplified of this radical? We are going to make factorize like that. Draw a line. And write here 160. The number which inside the square root, this number. Here 160, can we divide 160 by 2? Yes. So I'm going to choose 2. 160 divided by 2 is 80. I can divide 80 by 2 again. I cannot use any number except the prime numbers. Don't forget, 80 divided by 2 is 40. Also divided by 2, 40 divided by 2 is 20. Also, we can divide 20 by 2, 20 divided by 2 is 10. Also, we can divide 10 by 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 cannot divide it by 2, only divided by 5, because 5 divided by 5 is 1. So, the factorize of 160 by using the prime numbers are 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5. Now what we are going to do, because it's square root, take each two like numbers as one number, like that. Take 1, 2, and also 2, 2 and 2, take just 1, 2. And here we still have 2 and 5, there is no repeated number. So 2 times 2, we have 2 2s. 2 times 2 is 4. So put 4 outside the square root and write square root. What are the remainder numbers? The remainder numbers are 2 and 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So the answer 4 square root 10. You can check your answers by using calculator. How come? Like that. Open your calculator like that and write square root 160 equals, the answer is 4 square root 10. But these are the steps. Another exercise. What are the simplified form of square root 72? By using the same way. Draw the line, like that, the factorization number. And write here 72. And you have to choose a number from the prime numbers. Can we divide 72 by 2? Yes. 72 divided by 2. It will be 72 divided by 2. The answer will be 36. Can we divide 36 by 2? Yes. 36 divided by 2, 18. 18 also divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Can we divide 9 by 2? No. By 3, let's try 3. Yes, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We are going to choose each 2 repeated numbers. Just 2 repeated numbers. 2 and 2, take 1, 2. There is no another 2. 3 and 3, take 1, 3. So the repeated numbers are 2 and 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And write square root. The remainder number inside the square root is 2. So the answer is 6 square root 2. And you can use your calculator like that. Square root 72 equals 6 square root 2. It's right. And no problem if you used your calculator. I don't need these steps, no problem. The next one, if you have a letter. Here we cannot use the calculator at all. We are going to use the calculator in some part, and the other part we cannot use the calculator. How come? Here, what is the simplified of square root 54 n to the power 7? Step number 1, find the square root 54. The number by using calculator, no problem. Square root 54 equals 3 square root 6. So you have to write 3 square root 6. This is the answer of square root only 54. Now the letter. The letter is n to the power of 7. What we are going to do, it will be like that. Take the power here is 7. Make 7 divided by 2. Always divided by 2 because it's a square root. 7 divided by 2 and change it into mixed number. Like that, shift SD. It will be 3.5. 3, the number which will be outside the square root. And 1 is the number will be inside the square root. What's the meaning of that? You have to write in here, like that, outside, and also inside, because we have a mixed number. In outside the bracket will be the outside the square root will be to the power of 3 according to this number, the whole number. And inside the square root will be power 1. So you cannot not write anything. So the answer is 3n power 3 square root 6n. And every time you have an odd number, so you will get just one of the letter inside the square root. Let's see another exercise for this problem because it's very important. Here, what is the simplified form for negative m square root 80m power 9? Step number 1, write negative m as it times, find the square root the number inside the square root, which is 80, square root 80 by using the calculator. Square root 80 for square root 5. So here I'm going to write negative m times 4 square root of 5. Now let's find m power 9. How we can find square root m power 9? As I told you before, make 9 divided by 2. Always divided by 2 because it's a square root. And make it mixed number like that. The answer is 4.5. So I'm going to write m times m outside here and the m inside. The m which is outside the square root will be power of 4. And here the m inside the square root just power of 1. So I'm going to write 1 or keep it like that. Again, but here you have to find the answer of this. Negative m times 4 times m power 4. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. M times m power 4 is m to the power of 5. Because when we multiply the same base, we add the power. Square root 5m. Another exercise for this part special. Here we have negative 2 square root 243 y power 3. Let's divide our paper like that. First, we are going to write negative 2, which is outside, times, find square root 243 by using the calculator. Square root 243 equals, square root 243 equals 9 square root 3. So 9 is outside, times, because we still have a letter, don't forget, write square root 3. What about the letter? As I told you before, the letter here is power 3. So we are going to make 3 divided by 2 always, because it's a square root. Shift ST, 1.5. So we have letter outside has power 1, and the letter inside also has power 1. Like that. Y to the power of 1 and y inside. Don't forget to find negative 2 times 9 is negative 18, and write y square root 3y. Another exercise. Square root 50t power 5. Let's find first square root of 50. Square root 50. 5 square root 2. So write 5 times, we still have letter, don't forget, square root 2 inside. Now the letter t is power 5. So we are going to make 5 divided by 2 because the power is 5. Shift ST, we still have 2.5. 2 is the power of the letter outside, 1 is the power of the letter inside. So you have to write t here and also t here. T here will be of power of 2 according to this number, the whole number. And t inside will be power of 1. Another exercise. Here we have square root 3 square root 150 b power 8. First, write 3, don't forget, times, find the square root 150 first by using the calculator. Square root 150 equals 5 square root 6. So times 5 and make a space times, don't forget, because we still have letter, square root 6 inside. Now don't forget the letter. The letter is b power 8. So I'm going to make 8 divided by 2. Here we don't have a mixed number. We already have whole number. So there is no letter inside the square root. So the answer is b to the power of 4. The letter b to the power of 4. Because here the power is even. So no remainder. No remainder. So write b to the power of 4, the answer. 3 times 5, 15, and b power 4, square root 6. The next one, here, we have square root 192 s power 2. First, find square root 192. It will be 8 square root 3, okay? Write 8 times, because we still have letter, don't forget, write square root 3 inside. The letter now, the letter is to the power of 2. So we are going to make 2 divided by 2. 2 is the power, and 2 according to the square root is 1 without any remainder. So write the letter, which is s, to the power of 1. So don't write here anything. 8 times s is 8 s square root 3. So you have to find the number by using calculator, but the letter you have to find it mentally. A next part of this lesson, which is here. What here, multiplying two radical expressions. How we can multiply two radical expressions? It's a very easy way. We are going to multiply the whole number with the whole number and the square root with the square root. How come? It will be like that. First, multiply 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is 6. So 6 is outside. And square root 7t times 14t power 2. First, find 7 by 14. 7 by 14. 7 times 14 is 98. So here inside the square root, 98. T times t power 2 is t to the power of 3. Don't forget to simplify. How come? We need to find square root 98. Like that, square root 98. 7 square root 2. So don't forget 6 times 7 times, because we still have letter, square root 2. What about the letter? The letter here is to the power of 3. So I'm going to make 3 divided by 2, change into mixed 1.5. So t outside will be power 1, and t inside also will be power 1. Like that. T here, and also t here. Don't forget to find the answer. 6 by 7 is 42. So the answer is 42. T, don't forget, square root 2t. We have another way for this exercise. It's a shortcut way. How come? We can find the whole number directly, like that. Write 2 square root 7, make space, times 3. We are going to write only the whole numbers, square root 14, like that. We didn't write the letters because we cannot write the letters on the calculator. The final answer is 42 square root 2. So we have 42 outside, square root 2 inside. And t times t power 2 is t power 3 inside the square root. T power 3 inside the square root. It will be 3 divided by 2, the same steps, no problem. Another exercise. Let's using the shortcut way. Here we have square root 2a times square root 9a power 3. No problem. Let's find the numbers first. Square root 2 times square root 9, like that. 3 square root 2. So I'm going to write first 3 square root 2. Now let's find the letter. A times a power 3 is a power 4. A times a power 3 is a power 4. So we are going to divide 4 by 2 because the power is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. There is no remainder, so there is no letter inside the square root. The letter only outside the square root. So write a here, and a will be to the power of, yes, to the power of 2, because we have 2. Another exercise. 3 square root 6 times square root 18. All of this expression is numbers, so I can use the calculator directly, no problem. 3 square root 6 times square root 18. 18 square root 3. This is the final answer. 18 square root 3. Here we still have a letter, no problem. Find the numbers first, like that. 7 square root 5 times 3 square root 20. I wrote the whole numbers only here. The final answer is 210 without any square root. So just we are going to write 210. 210. What about the letters? The letters, x times x power 5, it will be x power 6. X power 6 inside the square root. So we are going to divide 6 by 2. 6 divided by 2. The answer is 3. So x will be to the power of 3 only. There is no remainder. So x will be to the power of 3. There is no remainder. That means there is no letter inside the square root. Another exercise about this part. Here, let's find it from the book. like this exercise. Square root 16 b power 5. Square root 16 b power 5. Let's find it first. Find the whole number, which is square root 16 by using calculator. Square root 16, it will be 4. So the answer of the number is 4. What about the letter? Make 5 divided by 2. 5 divided by 2. It has a remainder, shift ST, so 2 and half. So we are going to write b outside the square root to the power of 2, and don't forget another one inside. It will be to the power of 1 because we have a remainder here. The next one, number 3. 3 square root 5m times 4 square root 1 over 5m power 3. As I told you before, find the square root of the whole numbers first. 3 square root 5 without the letter times 4 square root fraction 1 over 5. The final answer is 12 without any square root. So I'm going to write here 12, no problem. I'm going to solve it down. 12. Now the letter m times m power 3 is m power 4. Inside, don't forget m power 4 is inside the square root. Let's find it. Here, we are going to make 4, because the power is 4, divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So there is no square root. So the answer is 12. And write m to the power of 2. We finished our lesson. I hope you understood this lesson well. Don't forget your online assignment. Have a nice day. Thank you.